Time Saving Templates, and today I'm going to be going over some common questions that I've been getting about the employee total rewards comp and benefits statements, and that is with the template that we have here at Time Saving Templates. And the whole purpose of these statements is you can generate a statement for each employee, and it shows a really nice summary page. Here's an example that will outline how much the company is paying for different benefits, compensation, bonuses throughout the year. Now that the last year's over, you can run reports, you can get all the data on, what was paid for different benefits, stock, paid leave, any insurance type, and those sorts of things. So that's what it will generate, and we have two versions. We have one version that's just one page, and this version I'm going over has 2 pages. And the main difference is this one is going to have some extra charts, and it also has a section with the medical benefits. So let me open up the actual template. This is the PDF version after you generate it for each employee. So looking in the template, you'll see there's a bunch of different tabs here at the bottom. And the main thing is the statement tab. This is where you're going to generate. It's going to pull all the information for each employee and generate that statement. In each tab is where the other tabs, you're going to list out employee details, and everything is linked by employee ID, name, and then you would typically, depending how many you have, you may have reports from your payroll or from your other systems, or you may end up entering in the information for different benefits. Now, I do have another video that goes over the basics of how to use this template, and also this medical tab, how to link it and everything. So I'll link to the first videos. So what I wanted to go through today is a couple of questions that have been coming up, and it's really quick and easy fix, but sometimes with Excel, this actually has to do with blank spaces in our data. It can throw things off. So there's a couple steps to getting the medical information populated by employee into this tab. So first you would come into the medical tab and you would list out in the green what levels and plan name that you have. So I've seen some families, maybe labeled differently. It may say employee plus 2 children, employee plus 3, or 3 or more children. Sometimes there's different coverage levels and different costs associated. I just have some sample data in here. So you would enter in the light green cells, provider cost and employer cost. That's what the company's paying per employee, depending on which bucket they fall in. Then into the employee benefits tab is where you list out all the employee names, and you would need to show what plan they're on for medical, what plan for dental, and then what is the plan level. So you'll see here right now, these gray cells should be pulling over automatically the cost information based on the plan and plan level. It's showing 0 for these, but we have entered a plan name of all and plus spouse. So there should be one all and plus spouse. So it should be pulling in. So this is a common question I get. The linking isn't happening here. And the first thing to check is that you've spelled the information correct. A lot of times I'll see maybe they have it employee in the medical tab, but in this tab that they named it single. And so we need it the same spelling on each page for this cost to pull over, like it's pulling over here. So why is it 0? We have all, we have plus spouse. What I usually do is just double click inside the cell, and I'm looking for a space. So if I put my cursor here and I click in this FX box, is how I can tell there are spaces in front of, and so that's what's throwing it off. So once I put my cursor there in backspace to remove those spaces, now the amount comes through. However, if you have 20, 30, 40 employees that you're trying to generate a statement for, you don't want to come in and have to manually backspace on each of those rows. So I'm going to undo this. Now, if the space was after plan name, I think it just, yeah, if I just click into the cell, I can see it there. But if it's in the front, it's a little bit harder to tell by clicking in it. I have to click up here. So if for some reason this may be happening, depending on how your data is formatted when you download it from your payroll or your benefits system, it can be hard to remove spaces because sure, I could do a find and replace, and I could replace every space. So I could put a space for find what, and I can replace it with nothing. Well, that's going to remove all of the spaces everywhere. That's okay. That actually, it worked for employee because it's one word. And so now employee is pulling in the cost. But you'll see that plus spouse and plus family, the problem is I have a space over here. So that's actually not going to work. Let me undo. What I've been doing, if someone runs into this problem and I see that, okay, every row that has plus spouse has 2 spaces in front, then I'm just going to add 2 spaces in front on the medical tab, because then it's only 4 cells that I need to update. And then if I go back, it's now pulling that in. So it's pulled it in for the first and the plus spouse, but it looks like I've added some things into the name of plan that I didn't need to. Okay, so now it pulls everything in if we do that. So as you update level in the green, it's going to update the levels used for each of these. If you have different levels, you can just come and write over this formula. That's just a little shortcut. I didn't put the same issue in with dental. So if dental, say we wanted to revert back to not using spaces, I would probably just copy and paste this and then just manually take out the spaces just for those 3 that I'm using for dental, and then that now everything is linking and it's pulling in the cost. So that's one way to troubleshoot when your information isn't linking into any of the medical plans. So that's one question that we've been getting a couple times, so I figured I'd just put this out there. The other question that I've gotten lately is when coming to the statement page, what if there's a field that's not listed here and you want to customize the template so that you can add something else? So for example, maybe we don't have a critical illness benefit, but we are providing unemployment insurance, which could also be unemployment insurance, could be under insurance, or you could also put it under the state and federal, or like a mandated benefit. But say that I wanted to change this critical illness to another name. What I would do is you would need to update the label here in the cell. You can update it and then just check on where it's looking, coverage and contributions, and go to the detailed page. Update the column header there. So what I mean by that is if I click on where these formulas are pulling from, I can see it's looking at insurance benefits right here. So that's the name of the tab, insurance benefits, and it's looking at from columns A to AF, it's looking at the 31st column. I don't really need to know that to make this update. All I need to know is, okay, it's looking at insurance benefits tab and I'm looking for the critical illness. So I'm going to go back to insurance benefits tab, and now I'm just looking for the column header that says critical illness. It's right here at the end. All I have to do is change this. So you can change the label here, and then you would just end up pasting in any information you want to populate for that. If employees, or I guess mainly employer contribution for that, probably And so whatever I enter here for Kelly, our sample person, is going to appear here as contribution, but you also want to update the name right here. So I would also change it here. Okay, so that's just a quick tip. If there are fields that you don't want to include, you want to add something new, this is way easier to update an existing column and just change the label versus if you go ahead and insert a new column, add something new, you're going to have to add all the new formulas for that. So that would be an easy way to get the file kind of more customized to you and your company. And there's one more third question that has been coming up, and that is if there's an automatic way to generate all of these statements. So the way the template works right now, it is helpful if you have a small group or small list of employees. It does automatically pull in each employee, all of their data that you paste in the other tabs. And then, so for this example, employee number 1 is pulling in the information for Kelly. And then if I wanted to look at employee number 2, I would just change the employee ID, and then it would pull in everything for James. Or number 3, it will pull in for Joe. So it's just one statement page, which you would then need to make a copy of manually and save it for each person. So the question was, do we have something to do this automatically, create all your 10, 20, 30 different statements? And we do not have something right now, but that is something we are looking to add in the future. So if you would like that capability or that feature added to this template, please comment or let me know your vote. And that will give me some extra motivation to work on this project and get that automation ready for you. In the meantime, this template it's not too difficult to save a copy of the statement. So if I wanted to save Kelly's statement, her information is here. I would just go to File, Save As, Browse, and I'm going to change the drop down to PDF. And then I did this example a while back, Kelly, and then I would just name for each person. So I'm going to put Kelly 3, and then that will end up saving that statement page, and it opened it in my other browser. It saves the page that was just in Excel and saves it into a PDF, which is great for when you're going to hand out or distribute the statements. You don't want to give the entire Excel file with everybody's compensation information in it by accident. You want to make sure they only see their information, and it would be good in a PDF because nothing is editable, and that way you know they're getting the information that that you provided. So that is how it works now, and in the future we are looking at adding more automations to run those reports. So I hope that helps, and if you have any other questions about this, please let me know. I will link to the other sample videos of this, and you can find this template. If you haven't tried it out yet, you can find it by going to timesavingtemplates.com and go to the shop button in human resources, and it'll be there in that section. And then we also have some free resources here at Time Saving Templates. You can go to timesavingtemplates.com/free resources, and we'll have some different for small business, rental property, and human resources and compensation. We have a compensation metrics cheat sheet if you haven't grabbed that yet. And we also have a free guide to get you started with Excel. So feel free to check that out at your convenience. And until next time, don't forget, I'm here to help you streamline and save time when it comes to using your Excel spreadsheets.